At a depth of 800 meters beneath the sea, 3 workers were concentrating on welding the pipeline. However, when the project was halfway through, a powerful and inexplicable force suddenly struck, like an invisible giant hand, dragging them firmly backward. The 3 men were caught off guard and fell to the ground instantly. They stared blankly around, completely at a loss. Overwhelmed by intense fear, one of the workers could no longer bear it. He immediately abandoned the work and quickly returned to the diving chamber. Surprisingly, the remaining 2 workers did not choose to back down. They exchanged a glance, and determination flashed in their eyes. They picked up their tools again and intended to continue with the remaining work, but they had no idea that this excessive dedication was gradually pushing them towards an abyss of no return. Half an hour later, the 2 workers finally completed the job. They took off their helmets, and a look of relief spread across their faces. They leisurely made their way back to the diving chamber. However, before they could even rejoice at having finished the work, they learned some extremely bad news. The sea surface had been hit by a storm, causing them to lose communication with the supply ship. Several of their teammates looked at each other in dismay, and the relaxed expressions on their faces instantly turned grave, and the atmosphere became oppressive. In this critical moment, the team leader made a prompt decision and decided to return to the sea surface first. As the air pressure decreased, the diving chamber began to rise slowly. At the sight of this, the 4 of them felt a little relieved, but they couldn't have imagined that beneath the seemingly smooth progress, there lurked a deadly threat. When they had ascended to 300 meters, the diving chamber suddenly came to a halt. The group was stunned, and the smiles on their faces froze. Before they could react, the diving chamber plummeted towards the seabed at an extremely fast speed. The pressure inside the chamber increased instantly, and the group crouched down, holding their heads in pain, feeling as if their blood vessels were about to burst. A few seconds later, the diving chamber landed heavily on the seabed like a cannonball. Fortunately, none of them were seriously injured. After calming down, the team leader decided to send a comrade out of the chamber to check the equipment. The man stepped out of the diving chamber cautiously and examined each oxygen cylinder carefully. Finding that none of them were damaged, he let out a sigh of relief. However, just as he was about to return, the rope connecting the diving chamber caught his attention. The man walked forward, curiously, for a couple of steps, but to his horror, he saw a scene full of corpses everywhere. And as the light moved, a terrifying thought flashed through his mind. Without the slightest hesitation, the man immediately returned to the diving chamber and, in an attempt to keep his tone calm, revealed this terrifying truth.